number.
No, I appreciate it.
Good evening. This meeting for the Winthrop Town Council from April 21st, 2015 is now called to order. This meeting is being recorded and may be televised live. You all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilman Corey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
No kidding.
Oh, no. Where'd it go? Oh, so we did? Yes. So we're just going to do the So you did do it, son. I did. If I can tell. Just like excuse me. Roll call, please, Council Sir.
Council Callow. Present. Council Sanford.
Here.
Council Boncory.
Here.
Council Barone.
Here.
Council Terry. Council Boyage.
Here.
Council Del Vento. Vice President Mayo.
Here.
President Gill.
Present. Public hearings, National Grid underlying electrical conduits for the, let me back up, minutes. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes? So moved by Councilor Sanford, seconded by Councilor Boyage. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. Public hearing on the underlying electrical conduits for the middle high school. I move that the town council granted easement authorizing National Grid to construct a line of underground conduit under Cross Street to the property line of Winthrop Middle High School. See the National Grid petition dated February 27, 2015. Take any other action relative thereto. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor of the petition? Yes, sir, your name, please?
My name is Tim Lyford.
Tim, what, I'm sorry?
Lyford,
Okay. And you're from National Grid, I assume?
National Grid Electric, that's correct.
And could you spell a life for me?
Lyford.
Okay. And you're speaking in favor?
That's correct.
Just that you are in favor, you don't have a speech or anything, right?
Nope, I'm just here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, good. Anybody opposed to the petition for National Grid to put underground conduit? Not? All those, any discussion from the council? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, the petition public hearing was closed. A motion to transfer $32,029.29 from the town manager contract settlements to the DPW building maintenance personnel lines for the purpose of funding a junior custodian and the other related expenses, or take any action relative thereto. Is there anybody here to speak in favor of the petition? Seeing none, is there anyone here to speak opposed to the petition? If not, the public hearing on that is closed as well. Open a public hearing that the town council authorize a transfer of $42,000 from the recreation retained earnings to fund the balance of the recreation enterprise fund expenses through July 30th, 2015, or take any other action relative thereto. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of? Seeing none, anyone here to speak opposed to?
Is that a question?
Yes, question,
Is
Councilor.
that was taken up by the finance committee?
Yes. Seeing no further comment, I will close that hearing and move on to the hearing to appropriate $2,800,000 for the replacement of the aged water mains and lead services. Reading the motion that $2,800,000 is appropriated for the purpose of financing the replacement of aged water main and lead services in the Cottage Hill surrounding area and Pico Beach surrounding area, including all costs incidental or related thereto, and that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the town manager, is authorized to borrow $2.8 million and issue bonds or notes of the town under Chapter 44 of the general laws, or any other enabling authority, that the treasurer, with the approval of the town manager, is authorized to borrow all or a portion of such money from the Massachusetts Water Resources Authority, and in connection therewith to enter into a loan agreement or financial assistance agreement with the authority, and otherwise to contract with the authority with respect to such loan for any grants or aid available for the project or the financing thereof, which grants and/or aid shall be expended for the project, excuse me, in addition to the amount appropriated to be borrowed under this order, and that the town manager is authorized to acquire by purchase, eminent domain, or otherwise, such rights, titles, easements, as they may be necessary for such purpose, to abandon such rights, titles, and easements as they are no longer required, and to expend all funds available for this project, and take any other action necessary or convenient to carry out the project. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the petition? Anyone opposed?
I just reiterate the importance of the project.
Okay, and it is very important, we all know the importance of it. Anyone opposed to the petition? If not, we'll close the public hearing on the appropriation of $2.8 million for the replacement of the water and sewer main. Public comment.
Peter, before we go to public
Yeah.
comment, I had my hand up, I don't know if
I'm
you
sorry,
saw me.
I see.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question on the underground electrical conduits going to the middle and high school.
Yes.
And I believe we're gonna have to vote on it later, even though I don't see it later under old and new business. But we're gonna we have to vote on it
Yes, we are.
under new business.
Yeah.
I just want to ask a question as to whether or not Cross Street's going to be closed. When you plan on putting this underground conduit in? Because we already have a situation, we voted to close Main Street, you know, so we can't get down to Cross Street from Main Street. If this is going to be closing Cross Street, we might not be able to get around anywhere. So I want to know when that's going to be done and how long it's going to take.
Okay.
Do you have those answers?
My first thought would be is that they would only close down half of the street at a time to keep traffic flowing, but I'm not 100% on that, so I can get that answer back to you.
Okay. And how long it will take, the
Okay.
project?
And if we would just make sure that there's not a conflict. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I can address, I'm from Skanska, so we're the owners.
Oh, okay, good, yes, thank you.
I would say that Skilbane will close half the street at a time, have a police detail, and, you know, it definitely will happen between May 1st and December 31st, so
So we're gonna have both.
we know that we can't close Cross Street down.
Right, good, because Main Street will be closed,
Right.
Cross Street will be out.
Right,
Okay,
right. So
good.
we're gonna have a time with a police detail, and, you know, I don't think it'll take less than a week. It won't, and it'll be probably plated, you know, at night.
Yeah, okay, great, the steel plates covering the whole,
Yes.
okay, great, thank you. Public comment? Seeing none. Committee reports from the Finance Committee, Council Voyage?
Yes, so the Finance Committee met on April 14th at 6 PM. Present were myself, the committee chairman, Councilor Del Vento, as well as CFO Tim Gordon. And we went through and with all of the following, with the transfer of the $7,480 for the site plan review to offset receipt in regards to the FEMA, as well as the transfer of the $6910 from Fund 505 MWRA for the FEMA flood map appeal. Both of those were recommended with positively for the council to vote on tonight, as well as the transfer of the $32,029.29 from the town manager's contract settlement to the DPW building for the purposes of funding a junior custodian. Although, I just want to check with the CFO. Did we reword that? Was it?
The motion was okay all along. It was the agenda for your subcommittee meeting that was not correct.
Okay, so that we approved that transfer of funds with a positive recommendation as well, and including the next one, the $42,000 from the recreation retained earnings for the, we also approved that with a positive recommendation for the full council to vote on. And then the $2,800,000 for the water main and lead services, we also approved all of them with a positive recommendation.
So all five have
All
coming
five-
out with
every-
positive recommendations?
All of those below were with positive recommendation.
Thank you. Town managers report.
The only comment I have to make, I just want to plug in for the treasurer's office. We've talked a lot about collecting taxes that are in tax title and looking at foreclosure. We got 2 checks this week. One of them is for $155,000, $736, and the other is for $93,480. So
Great.
that's the result of a lot of hard work by Monica Ford and her team.
That's tremendous effort and tremendous accomplishment. Appreciate that. Counsel?
So was that for 2 separate properties?
2 separate
And
properties.
would they be the most egregious ones on the list?
Not sure. I'd have to check the list.
I'm just curious where
There aren't too many at that level.
I mean, what's the outstanding balance there?
The outstanding balance now is probably somewhere around 400,000 to 500,000. It was $1 million, and we've been chipping away at it. And
Over how long a period of time?
it goes back a few years.
I'm just curious, I mean, we chip it, because we're chipping 200 grand away a year, and that 200 grand is our free cash balance, then I'd like to know that it's a, diminishing balance versus a sustainable. I can't imagine we're allowing people to get back up to that level again.
Yeah, no, that's correct. I think that last year, some of this contributed to the free cash, and this year it will as well. Hopefully in future years, there won't be enough outstanding to contribute.
That's
Still
good
comes
news
in
or bad
revenue,
news?
so it's still contributing.
Yeah, we'll have it on time instead of late, and it's been very aggressive on some stuff that's been very old. Terrific. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that wasn't on your sheets today.
It was not on my, my sheets today were through the end of March.
You all set?
That's all I have. We're busy with the budget, and we'll have that obviously to the town council by May.
By the way, I didn't mention, Mr. McKenna is not here tonight. He had a previous commitment that he had to be at, so Tim is filling in. School department update, as we know, this is school vacation week, and it's turned out to be good weather today, and after a little bit of rain during the night last night. The middle high school top-off is scheduled for next week on the 28th. That's they put the top of the beam on. Would you like to comment on that, Ms. Osborne, at all? Just that we're doing it.
Well, we have a ceremony at 1 o'clock. It's on the Payson Street side, near the fields.
Pardon me? On the Payson Street?
Payson Street side of the project.
Great, thank you. And Payson Street on the April 25th. We have a new high school principal, Mr. Crombie. Matt Crombie was the assistant principal, and the superintendent appointed him last week as the new principal of the high school, and we wish Matt the best of luck, and we know that he will do well. Under old business, the petition for the 60 Herman Street SDOD. Move that the town council approve the petition for Ocean City Development LLC to amend the Winthrop town zoning map as to include 60 Herman Street, Winthrop, within the SDOD zoning, and take any other action relative thereto. At our last meeting, we took a vote which we thought required a 2/3 vote, unbeknownst to the council. Through some error of communication, a petition had been presented to the town clerk, which then required that it needed to be 75% of the town council to vote in the affirmative in order for this to pass. We checked with, at the advice of the council, or the wish of the council, we checked with the town attorney, who verified that it needed to be 75%, but we also wanted to determine whether or not the motion could be reconsidered by virtue of the fact that it did not pass last time. The town attorney verified that yes, it could be reconsidered, and therefore it's on the agenda tonight with that report that it could be reconsidered. What's the wish of the council?
Point of order.
Yes.
For over 10 years, this council has abided by council rules and Robert's Rules of Order, and I don't think that this situation rises to the level of going against our 10-year tradition of abiding by this. So in my opinion, to reconsider, we would have to make a motion to waive Robert's rules, to waive council rules, to waive Robert's rules to address this. And as far as the town attorney weighing in on that, to me, I would think that she did not cite any particular case law that has been come up in the entire history of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And I would not feel comfortable subjecting the town to that, and I would, if we were to continue on that track, I would ask the council, I would motion that the council actually ask the Attorney General's office for an opinion as to how we proceed on this matter.
Is there any further comment? Councilor?
Well, in agreeing with my brother, Counselor, as to getting an opinion from the Attorney General's office, I think we probably should have. Therefore, I would make a motion to continue this on the agenda until our next meeting on the 5th, so that we can get that opinion. And I make that as a motion.
I'll second.
Let's,
I'll second that.
what if we don't have an opinion by the 5th? Are you saying we continue it to the 5th? What if we don't have an opinion?
Well, hopefully we get an opinion by the 5th. From the
I've
attorney.
requested
It would
an
take
opinion.
us 2 weeks to get
I've
that
requested
opinion.
an opinion from the Attorney General, who has not responded.
Okay. All right.
Councilor Sanford.
And I also think by continuing it, we might have a full council, which I think is important.
I think it's important to continue it because we don't have a full council tonight, and it does require 75% of the full council to vote it. I would prefer not to have it contingent upon us having an opinion from the Attorney General. So if you want to amend that motion.
I'll
or-
amend my motion to continue it until we have an opinion from the Attorney General's office.
Okay, motion from Councilor Boncory to continue the matter until we have an opinion from the Attorney General, and that opinion is whether or not we can waive Robert's rules. Our town,
That's not
Whether
my,
we can reconsider it.
I would
back
let
up,
you finish.
back up. Your motion is
Just to continue the matter until we get an opinion from the Attorney General.
an opinion on what?
I believe he asked for an opinion
My-
on whether or not we have to waive the rules
Right.
to reconsider it and waive Robert's rules to reconsider it.
Right,
I
so,
believe that's what he was saying.
yeah, but that's what I thought I asked you. So, Paul?
If I may,
Councilor
the opinion that I would ask for, and if this needs to be an amendment, I shall make it as such. The opinion that I would ask the Attorney General on is, because we have already taken it up for reconsideration, has this matter been properly disposed of?
I don't know that we have already taken it up. Yes, we have.
Yes, we have.
We have. Okay,
And as
so-
far as the 75%, just to make a point, that petition was emailed to the entire council prior to the meeting. Months, albeit months in advance, a couple of months in advance, the council did have the opportunity to see that.
When it was emailed, was it an official petition that had been approved?
It was, yes, from the clerk, it was,
It had been
it
emailed
had,
from the
it had been approved
Okay, I will
at
stand
the
corrected.
time.
Attorney, just hold on one second. At this point, we have a motion, and I want to clarify what the motion is. We have a motion to postpone this until we have an opinion from the Attorney General. In fact, instead of making amendments, would you withdraw your motion? We'll start again.
I think it's just clear. We want an opinion from the Attorney General. Now,
Well,
after we make that motion, now let's discuss what the opinion will be.
We have,
It doesn't have.
we have a motion. We have an amendment. We have an amendment that's clarified. I think it might be much clearer if you would withdraw your motion and start again. If you don't want to do that, then we'll go through a series of amendments.
No, I didn't think there was an amendment. I thought there was just a discussion as to what he wanted.
Your original motion was what?
To delay the vote on this matter until we get an opinion from the Attorney General.
And that motion was seconded.
Seconded.
Then we had an amendment as to what the opinion was about.
I don't think there was actually amendment.
Yes, I made the motion to amend to sit.
I would again request that you withdraw and we start again. If you don't want to do that, we'll go through the amendments.
I withdraw.
Okay.
I'll withdraw.
So the motion has been withdrawn, the second has been withdrawn. Who made the first second? I know you did.
Council.
Yeah.
Okay, so you withdraw the second. So here we start again with a new motion, council? Or would you rather have Paul?
Let Paul be. Go ahead.
Council Vaughn?
If you could help me with this motion, but my motion would be to ask the Attorney General whether or not this matter was properly disposed of, and we could indeed take it up again, because it was already reconsidered.
So your motion would be to postpone,
Until such time as we have a rendered opinion from the Attorney General.
the matter until the
Yeah.
Attorney General renders
In opinion, whether this matter has been disposed
Or
of.
whether or not it can be reconsidered again.
Yeah,
Attorney General renders an opinion as to whether or not the matter can be taken up again.
I'd like to ask if it was properly disposed of.
Well, let's go back then.
Yeah.
Until the Attorney General renders an opinion as to whether or not the matter has been, right?
Yes.
If the Attorney General says, no, the matter has not been properly, are you then going to ask for another opinion as to whether or not we can reconsider it?
No, no. I mean,
So
that
it
was-
should- it should all be in the
that was clear. I'm sure she'll elucidate.
Okay, very
It should
good.
all be in the same line.
Motion to postpone the matter until the Attorney General renders an opinion as to whether or not the matter has been properly disposed of. Do I have a second?
Sure.
Second by Council Boyajin. Any discussion on the motion? Not all those.
I just have a question, because I'm not an attorney. So we get that decision back, how do we know if we have the right to take it up again?
That's going to be part of it.
Well, if it wasn't properly disposed of, then that means we would still,
Councilor Barone said whatever that decision was would satisfy his request.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Because originally you felt that we needed to go by Robert's rules. If the Attorney General comes back and
Well,
says,
because it's in our council rules, and it's not just a matter of Robert's rules, it's, I'm sure she'll write everything down to my satisfaction. One way or the other, I'll abide by her decision.
okay, thank you. So the matter has been, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Yes, I'm sorry, question?
just very briefly.
Just if I have to just clear it with the council that if there's no objection, we'll allow Attorney Lins to make a statement. Seeing no objection, go ahead.
Thank you. For the record, Richard Lins on behalf of Ocean City Development. The petitioner under the SDOD petition, I want to renew our objection that we had raised at the previous meeting. I believe, notwithstanding the procedural issues that the council has to deal with, I raised an objection not only initially, but at the last meeting as well. We do object to the sufficiency, the adequacy, and the genesis of the petition that's been presented to the council, and just want to make sure we preserve that for the record as well.
Would you like to get an opinion from the Attorney General as to whether or not
I
that's
have a different
appropriate?
opinion I'd like to ask the Attorney General.
Pardon me?
I have a different opinion that I'd like to ask the Attorney General, but I'll save that for another day.
Okay, well, if you wanted to get an opinion on that, because if we don't have an opinion on its credibility and we go ahead and vote it, where do you stand?
We're preserving it for appellate issue.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to a motion by National Grid that the town council grant an easement authorizing National Grid to construct a line of underground conduit under Cross Street, the property line of Winthrop High School, and take any other action relative thereto. See the National Grid petition dated February 27, 2015. Could I have a motion? Motion by Council Sanford, seconded by Council Boyajin. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. Moving on. Motion that the town council authorize the transfer of $7,480 from site plan review offset receipt account 58752-596000 to the general fund to fund the special article known as the Central Business District Master Plan, or take any other action relative thereto. But this comes out of finance with a positive recommendation. So it's a motion from finance, Council Boyajin.
Yes.
And therefore, there's no second necessary. Any discussion on the motion?
Okay.
Yes, Council.
What is that exactly for, and where is it coming from, and where is it going to? I didn't get to that meeting.
It's coming to the general fund,
From the general.
to the general fund. Tim, could you comment on
Yeah,
that?
sure. This is coming from the offset receipt account, and it's a special article to fund the Central Business District Master Plan that Jim has discussed. And it is, they're going to be looking at traffic scale, architectural details, and the firm is Form in Place out of Newton. The work was started and expected to be completed in the next couple of weeks.
Council.
And again, I think he's going to help the planning board along the way with some considerations as we go forward, try to make some changes, zoning changes, as well as other changes in the Center Business District.
Yeah, and they're looking at the whole Center Business District,
Correct.
not just the Somerset.
And the funding source is that offset receipt account that was set up about a year ago.
How much did we put in that account?
The budget in there is 23,000. Right now, what's in there is 23,000, so this is 7,480.
And is that a revolving account, just?
It's an offset receipt account, so we do vote it every year at a certain level. And if we're going to go over that and receive more than what was voted, we would have to revote.
I'm just curious whether 7,800 hit the budget.
If not, all those in favor, I'm sorry. No further comment, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, it's unanimous, thank you. Motion that the council authorize the transfer of $6,910 from Fund 505, the MWRA Assistance Unreserved Fund, to 019-6052-588-056 for the FEMA flood map appeal, or take any other action relative thereto, coming out of finance with a positive recommendation. With a motion by Councilor Boyajin.
Yes, no second.
No second required. Any discussion on the motion? Council?
There's no better time for people to rethink their FEMA situation. I called my insurance agent the other day and got my plan. I'm not in the flood zone. I don't know if I'm going to be, but I'm close enough, and everybody should get to the map and find out where you are and what you got going, because it's better to have and don't need than need and don't have on this one. So I think
Thank you.
everybody should get there.
Any further discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, it's unanimous. Thank you. Motion that the town council authorize the transfer of $32,029.29 from the manager contract settlements 0111252-511109 to DPW maintenance personnel lines for the purposes of funding a junior custodian, other related expenses, or take any other action relative thereto. Motion from finance with a positive recommendation. Is there no second required? Any discussion on the motion to the transfer of $32,000? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. Motion that the town council authorize a transfer of $42,000 from the recreation retained earnings fund, recreation retained earnings to fund the balance of the recreation enterprise fund expenses through June 30th, 2015. I'll take any other action relative thereto. Motion from Finance Committee, no second required. All those, any discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. And I have to read this one more time. Motion for $2,800,000 is appropriated for the purpose of financing the replacement of the aged water main and lead services in the Cottage Hill surrounding area and Pico Beach surrounding area, including all costs incidental or related thereto, that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the town manager, is authorized to borrow $2,800,000 and issue bonds or notes of the town under Chapter 44 of the general laws, or any other enabling authority that the treasurer, with the approval of the town manager, is authorized to borrow all of the portion, all or a portion of such money from Massachusetts Water Resources Authority, and that in connection therewith to enter into a loan agreement and/or financial assistance agreement with the authority, and otherwise to contract with the authority with respect to such loan and/or for any grants or aid available for the project or the financing thereof, which grants and/or aid shall be expended for the project in addition to the amount appropriated and to be borrowed under this order, and that the town manager is authorized to acquire by purchase, eminent domain, or otherwise, such rights, titles, and easements as they may be necessary for such purpose, and to abandon such rights, titles, easements as they are no longer required, to expend all funds available for the project, and to take any other action necessary or convenient to carry out the project. Coming from finance with a positive recommendation, no second required. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Point, opposed? No? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Any other old business? Not, moving on to new business. There's an appointment on the agenda that I'm going to hold on to the next meeting. Motion by the town manager, James McKenna, that the town scholarship be known henceforth as the Rona Mayo Town Scholarship, in memory of her recognition of Rona's dedication to raising scholarship funds for Winthrop High School students for decades, and as a long-serving member and longtime chairperson of the Town Scholarship Committee, or take any other action relative thereto. This motion did go through the Scholarship Committee, and they voted unanimously to name the scholarship in memory of Rona Mayo, who, as it says, has been so dedicated to the Winthrop High School students and their scholarship fund for so many years and recently passed on. Any discussion on the motion? If not,
Well, I would have to.
Councilor Mayo's mom, so I would hope he would.
Yeah, I want to thank the scholarship committee on behalf of my mother. She took a really strong interest in it after she was brought onto the committee by some people many years ago, and she always took the job very, very seriously, and she anguished over it for months. And it's interesting to see that the scholarships that she had to anguish over pale in comparison with what the future generations of people will be fortunate enough to deal with. And Winthrop students are going to be blessed by a tremendous endowment that was given to them, and I'm lost for the individual's name, but
Right, yeah.
So and I think it was he and his wife that gave, and their family, for giving such a tremendous, and my mother, I know, met with him many times and worked with him, and, considered it to be a very, crowning achievement. But the real beneficiary is the future children of Winthrop, who are going to see some tremendous scholarship opportunities for them, and I wish, and my family wishes the best to all those students and to the committee, and I know my mother would be very proud, as my father and brothers are, to have this named after her. So thank you very much.
Again, many thanks to Rona, and to whose dedication was not only the scholarship committee, she was also a teacher in Winthrop High for many years, and many kids spoke about they feel that she was very, very influential in their lives. So, without further ado, could I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Councilor Callis, seconded by Councilor Boyajin. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
I guess I
Opposed?
would.
You gonna vote for it?
Well, if I can, I
Yes, you
would,
can.
and if I can't, I won't.
Yes, you can. Yeah, unanimous vote. Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Osborne, for putting that together. Okay, the next motion for a transfer of $288,506 from the General Stabilization Fund for snow and ice budget, to fund the snow and ice budget due to the deficit. I would like a motion to refer to finance.
So moved.
Motion by Council Barone, seconded by Council Boyajin. There's no discussion on the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Tim, do we need a hearing on that? Public
We
hearing?
do.
Okay,
Yes.
so would you schedule
And
it?
if I could just point out,
Yeah.
in my monthly report, I have a tab that has snow costs, and it brings you to this number of 288. Unfortunately, only that first storm was declared an emergency, so we're at this point in time stuck with the rest of it.
That detail is in our Dropbox, but if anybody wants me to read it, I will. No? Okay. Well, for the yeah, okay. Moving on, transfer $80,000 from free cash for funding the asphalt restoration resulting from the winter storms. Transfer $80,000, I'd like to refer that to finance as well. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Council Barone, seconded by Councilor
Well,
Boyajin. Discussion.
I was just curious, you had said 150, we were getting 40. Does this include the 20? Is the 80 superseding the 20 that we've done before? Is the 20 there and then?
It's an additional to the 20.
Okay, so it's the 20 to the 80 to the 140 total. And you're comfortable with that? You cover the rocks?
Yeah, it's going to give us a big jump on what we need to restore this year.
Any further discussion? Not all of those in favor of referring to finance, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. Public hearing, right, Jim?
Yes.
The next transfer, $31,592.78 from the town manager contract settlement to fund contract settlement for fiscal year 15. Is that 15?
That's correct.
I would make a motion, I would like a motion to refer to finance committee. Motion by Council Sanford, seconded by Council Boyajin. Any discussion on the motion to refer to finance committee? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Public hearing, Tim?
Yes,
Okay.
public hearing on that, and they all have to be advertised.
The other two, we don't need the public hearing,
Or under 25.
because they're under 25.
Oh, yeah, correct.
Transfer 21,854 from general insurance to North Shore Essex Agricultural and Technical School to be referred to finance. Motion. Council Boyajin, seconded by
Second.
Council Boncory.
Is that the amount for one student?
I believe it's
Correct,
two. No, that's one, that's
One
one.
student.
It's the additional student.
Plus transportation.
Right. It's tuition plus
Yeah,
transportation.
it's 3,000 in transportation.
Any discussion on the motion to refer to finance? Not, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. The next one, transfer $33,090 from town council reserve to fund costs associated with property foreclosures. Any discussion on the motion? Not? Yes,
Discussion.
Councilor.
Just more of a question than a discussion on the property foreclosure. Tim, going back quite some time, I was in your office with Jim McKenna and yourself, and he was interviewing an attorney that was going to do that, and was going to take this money out of his end of the...
Correct, yeah, that was one proposal. We're actually using another firm that in essence is holding off in collecting their fee, but this isn't for the attorney's fee, these are court costs, filing at the court.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tim.
Councilor?
Why isn't that coming back out of what we collected?
Well, what we're collecting this year has to go into local receipts. This would come, so we have to fund the costs associated with filing in the courts. Once we collect, then we will pay the attorney's fees from what we collect for those particular properties, but the upfront cost has to do with filing, what needs to be filed.
One at a time, please, Councilor Boncory.
Why wouldn't the filing fees be charged to the person on top of what the foreclosure amount is, so that it isn't costing us anything to do that? I mean, that's the way it should be done.
Well, we would still need to, so you're saying charge it directly to, well, we still have to hit an expense account. We wouldn't have, we need to expense it somewhere. It will hit their, yes, it will hit their bill, but it'll be added to their bill, but we still have to charge it somewhere when we actually make the transaction.
So we have to spend it before we get it back.
Correct.
Councilman.
I don't understand why, it's worth this and that's an expense and the net is what you get. I just don't understand why that wouldn't be part of the settlement. You know, if they're figuring.
You mean
it out.
with the attorneys?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, you go to get your mortgage, you say throw in all the fees. I'm just wondering why all the fees aren't in there. And that, so what I'm concerned about is we took in 200 grand, how much of that is gonna go out to attorney's fees? 40, 50,
This
90?
is, this, for example, for foreclosure, it's, let's see, how much is this? This is for 6, so it's about 500 each.
So the attorney gets $500
No, this-
on
These are filing fees.
Filing fees.
that, I understand, but what I'm getting at is, doesn't the attorney put that in with their bill, which is, you know, just.
Well, in this case, they're not gonna charge us until the foreclosure is finalized. So what the
These
agreement we
six,
had is
haven't
we'll pay for
accepted
the,
any money.
One at a time.
we'll
Tim,
we'll pay for the court filing costs. We will not pay the attorney's fees until the foreclosure is finalized. We do the same with tax title. We pay the attorney for tax title when he files with the courts.
My fault, because is a clarification. This is $3,090 for people we are just engaging in the process, not the ones we just closed the door on.
That's correct.
Thank you. That was where I was.
So there's one of these here that we won't have to go this route because they just paid this past week.
So a piece of this 3,090 will be adjusted.
Yeah, we'll probably add another one on because there's a list that we're working
Any
on.
further discussion on the motion?
I guess the only question would be, is there another fund that would be more appropriate than just the general reserve, or, I mean, the council reserve, or? I don't know.
I would say, given the amount of money, we probably, it's not a big deal.
Take the money to set up the fund out of that money to begin.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Public comment? Seeing none. Oh, Paul.
On the 29th, Wednesday the 29th this month, MWRA will have their spring Citizens Advisory meeting on Deer Island. Anybody who would be interested in a tour of the island, go down to the island, to the museum building, and you'll be escorted through the entire island. And the citizens meeting is going to go off at 7 p.m. So again, it's Wednesday the 29th on Deer Island. Tours of the island are at 5:30 p.m. and the community meeting will begin at 7 p.m. in the museum building. And there'll be plenty of staff to lead you to the park and everything else.
And they'll go to the museum building for the tour.
Correct, and it will be listed in this week's transcript as well.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, Denise, could you ask the manager's office to put that on his report and on the, we might as well put it on the meetings calendar too?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Thank you. Okay, the,
Just to make an announcement, there will be a joint meeting of the Rules and Public Safety Committee on May 4th at 7 p.m. We'll post the room where it's going to be, and that will be a meeting, the third meeting on the houseboat and waterway issues. And I asked the harbor master, town council, and I asked Steve Callen to be there as well.
thank you, Council. That's May 4th, and it'll probably be upstairs in room 2 at 7 p.m. Okay, on this Saturday, April 25th, the Beautification Committee is having their cleanup, as is the former Winthrop Cares Group is joining in with them, and Belle Isle Group is joining in also out on the Kilmartin Path. So, as Councilor Sanford had requested at the last meeting, we are declaring that Winthrop Beautification Day, and it's going to be a great combined effort. Also, that night, Councilor Sanford, you have something going on.
Yep, there's a Chamber of Commerce is running their $10,000 raffle and cocktail reception. Again, it's April 25th from 7 to 9. It's at the Cottage Park Yacht Club. Tickets for the raffle are $100 per ticket, and $35 per person for food and entertainment. And the two vendors will be local businesses, Blackstrap and Hong Kong Dragon, which will be supplying the food. Also, if I can
Sure, go
continue
ahead.
on,
Yep.
while we're on the roll here. Also, the Spring Festival, Cinco de Mayo, is going to be held for the first time on Sunday, May 3rd, in Winthrop Center from 3 to 6. That will include a Maharaji, how do I pronounce that? Am I saying it right? Mariachi. Mariachi. I was band. I spent the week in Mexico.
Yeah, I can tell.
You picked up a lot.
It'll include food, beverages, and games, and there'll be a rain date of May 17th. Again, that's Sunday, May 3rd from 3 to 6.
Thank you, Councilor.
Tickets are available at the Chamber of Commerce and other locations in Winthrop.
On April 28th, as Ms. Osborne mentioned earlier, is the topping off of the beam at the new middle high school at 1 p.m. The ceremony is. Carrying-
28th?
Yeah, April 28th. Carrying on with the cleanup, Rich Honan is running a Euro Beach cleanup on May 2nd. Busy cleanup month. May 2nd, Saturday. And on May 6th, the Ordinance Review Committee is having a public forum at the DeLeo Center at 7 p.m. Does anybody on the council have any more things to add to the public comment, to the Public Relations Council?
But I want to ask something of Steve. You know how we do a leaf pickup in the fall?
Yes.
Is there any way we can get a spring cleanup pickup, since we're doing all this cleaning, and I know the street sweepers are starting this week. A lot of people have tree branches that fell and leaves that came down after the pickup. Is there any shot of getting one of those?
DPW will be involved with the cleanup efforts for the beautification committee and the Belle Isle marsh cleanup. As far as the leaf cleanup, that's a capital waste event.
Yeah.
It's written in their contract. It would be a contract negotiation to have them do a second cleanup in the spring. Compost is open to bring leaves and branches down to the compost. But it wouldn't be, again, it's capital waste that does your November curbside pickup.
Any shot of talking to them to see what they could do about
I
getting
can
one?
certainly talk to them and see what that cost would be to add that.
Great.
Thank you, Council. And as Steve and Council Von Corey mentioned, this is the week we're doing the cleaning, the sweeping, street sweeping.
Yes.
And the little difference is that the street sweeping is done on your regular trash day and your trash is postponed a day.
That's correct.
So your regular trash day this week, move the cars and so the street can get clean. I think you said you're going easy on the tagging.
Yes, we understand that it is a bit confusing. It was a holiday week. It kind of confused it a bit, but we thought about putting it off till the following week, and that's a short week. It's not a full week in the month, so we thought it would be less confusing to do the street sweeping Monday through Friday with the trash pickup a day late.
And can we urge the citizens, although they're going easy on the tagging, let's move the cars anyway, and so that in front of your house and my house can be clean.
That's right. It's an important cleanup. It's the first
Yeah,
one.
it sure is, the first one. Seeing no further business, I'll accept the motion for adjournment.
So moved.
From Councilor Varone, seconded by, Councilor Sanford. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, it's unanimous. Thank you.